We're going to get started in just a little bit. Yeah, page 16. Alrighty. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go now. Yeah. Gonna give folks a second to come on in. Peace, 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 peace. Hope you're doing well on this beautiful Tuesday. Let me drop some links in here real quick. Bam. I do that there. Bam. And go ahead with this here. Bam. All right. All right. We're just about ready. Peace, peace, peace. Wow. Well, we're going to leave that right there. Trying to find one more thing before I get started. Yeah, I think that's the one I wanted to use. There we go. Bam. Wait. Alrighty. Alrighty. Peace, 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 peace. Let that motorcycle go by. All right now. Peace, 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 peace. I'm Rami Salam El. Thank you for watching. Thank you for joining us. We have a class today. Support the Moorish Science Temple of America and not RV Bay Publications. Warning for true Moors, Moorish Americans, and the general public. First and foremost, let me say this. Assalamu alaikum. Islam, peace to the Muslims and Muslims out there. I hope that your Ramadan was good. I hope it provided some clarity, provided some better health for you. It did a lot for me. And peace to everybody that's just watching. I also want to say this isn't, please don't take this or misconstrue this as an attack against RV Bay Publications or the people that run it. It is not my intention to attack them or that business, but rather to provide clarity and to point true Moors and Moorish Americans, particularly people that may be new to this information, to point them and us in the right direction. And also, it is to correct my previous mistakes, And by mistakes, that is, I, for a while, was promoting and supporting and directing people specifically to RV Bay Publications. When people would email me, contact me, DM me saying, where do I go for information? where should I go to study? One of the main things I would point them is to the direction of RV Bay Publications. Um, Having said that, after reflecting on all of this information, getting back into what Noble Drew Ali said specifically, um, and understanding what this is really and truly supposed to be about, I have to do my best to make corrections where I made mistakes, and this is one of them. And I just wanted to make that clear out in the front because I understand this may rub a few people or rub some people the wrong way, or you may feel a certain way if you do support RV Bay Publications. So I don't want this to be taken in a malicious sense, but rather just to correct myself and to help prevent others from going down a what I feel is a wrong path. So first and foremost, I want to just show this real quick. Well, actually, yeah. Let me do this. First and foremost, let's get into what Noble Drew Ali said. And this is a warning from the Prophet. Matter of fact, let me put this on the screen so that you can see it for yourself real quick. I don't have much time, so let me try to hurry up and not waste your time here. Bam. There we go. This is a warning from Noble Drew Ali. Put that on the screen. All right. And it says, for all governors, grand sheiks, and head officials of all temples, renew your acts and amend your ways, because the great conference is on its way, and in it is where the law will be enforced before the great grand body. The continuance of the present offices in the temple will depend on your past good work. Those who have been delinquent may now know that they will not be tolerated any longer, because this great divine and national movement must move on according to law. These things shall be proclaimed. There are no favorites in any of the temples, for the law is laid down, and everyone who claims a part of the work is very important. I'm going to read that sentence again. There is no favorite in any of the temples, for the law is laid down, and everyone who claims a part of the work must be governed accordingly. All are one. There is but one temple in this nation, and there is but one prophet of the temples. I come to speak to all nations, bringing them a message of love, truth, peace, freedom, and justice. In the head of every temple, if anyone has violated these divine laws, it will mean his discontinuance. For no man is to be under the influence of intoxicating liquors, nor to seek to tear up the families while under the influence of evil motive. Nor must he speak anything that will prejudice the minds of the public against the divine movement. If any of the laws are violated, anybody, grand sheik or sheiks, can file a charge against the violation or violator to the grand body over which the prophet presides. This power is vested in 7 or more sheiks for the protection of your temple and the divine movement. That's a warning. That is a warning. And the one, I just want to highlight this again. And everyone who claims a part of the work, everyone. So if you are claiming to be a part of this work of the Moorish Divine and National Movement or the Moorish Science Temple of America, if you claim to be a part of that, as in you claim to be a Moorish American, or you claim to be a true Moor, you claim to be doing the work of Noble Drew Ali or following the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, then you must be governed accordingly. You can't claim to be a part of this work but not follow the laws, not follow the guidance, not follow the principles and the teachings that Noble Drew Ali laid down. That's first and foremost. And Now let me actually bring up their website. And this is in part why I'm speaking on this now. All right. I see here that well, it's a few things, but in particular, this I can't even highlight it, but this question number 1 here on their flyer: why did Noble Drew Ali say enforce the Constitution? And this is on the RV Bay Publications website. Apparently, they are doing a conference call, meeting, some sort of thing, and they have several different questions. But the main thing, that the reason why I wanted to highlight this is the idea of enforce the Constitution. It's right here. Why did Noble Drew Ali say enforce the Constitution? And that has been a big problem. Let me just put this down for a second. That's been a big problem within the Moorish American community, is this statement that Noble Drew Ali told Moorish Americans to quote unquote enforce the Constitution. And the fact of the matter is, Noble Drew Ali did not instruct us or command us or tell us, as in us being Moorish Americans, to enforce the Constitution. Noble Drew Ali never said that. I mean, I went over this in detail and in depth, so I don't want to go back and rehash that. But the fact of the matter is that Noble Drew Ali did not say that. And the people that have been promoting and propagating that are doing so intentionally to mislead the people. And that is a huge problem. And, RV Bay Publication is not exempt from critiques in regards to this. And the reason why, actually, let me stop the screen share. Drop that there real quick. The reason why I'm highlighting that, and the reason why it's important that we understand the danger in that, if you don't know already, is because those kinds of activities, let me scroll up to the top. Those kinds of activities can get you and get Moors and Moorish Americans classified and grouped in to what is known as the sovereign citizen movement, or quote unquote Moorish sovereign citizens. We've seen this with the Rise of the Moors organization, and many other individuals and groups. This article is from the Southern Poverty Law Center, and I wanted to highlight specifically I mean, I would like for you, I dropped the link in there, and it speaks on paper terrorism. That is one of the things that that can be used to identify and classify you as a quote unquote sovereign citizen or a Moorish sovereign citizen. And RV Bay Publication is directly linked in that regard with all of the documents that they have on their website, and them encouraging you to print them out and send them to different government officials and authorities in regards to challenging jurisdiction, or traveling versus driving, or not paying taxes, or squatting in homes or taking over homes in that regard. Think those kinds of activities can get you identified as a sovereign citizen by way of this idea called paper terrorism. But I wanted to go. I thought this was the correct link. I hope it was. Here we go. And as you can see here at the top, let me zoom in just a little bit. Yeah. As you can see here at the top, this is an article that is giving reference to the rise of the Moor militia group and their actions on July 3rd, 2021. And, the dangers, and I've already focused in on that. But here is something specific that I wanted to show. 2021 sovereign citizen groups. And if you go down, it has a bunch of different groups. The Washita group is on there. El Moroccan Empire is, I'm not sure about that group, but it's on there from New Jersey. The Moorish Science Temple of America 1928 in Georgia is on this list. And right here is the main thing I wanted to highlight. This is on the 2021 sovereign citizen list. Let me get that correct quote. 2021 sovereign citizen groups. And this is, again, southernpovertylawcenter.org. And as you can see here, RV Bay Publications, Pleasantville, New Jersey, is listed on this list of quote unquote sovereign citizen groups. Now, getting to the point of the video, it's important, if you are a Moorish American, if you're a true Moor, if you are following the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, to support the Moorish Science Temple of America. Noble Drew Ali did not create the RV Bay Publications company or business or that group or any of the documentation that they propagate or promote, nor the nationality card that they created. That is not authorized by Noble Drew Ali or the Moorish Science Temple of America, and that too is associated with and can get you identified or labeled or classified as a quote unquote Moorish sovereign citizen or a sovereign citizen, and that is a very that can be very dangerous. It can possibly get you investigated and or arrested and charged for crimes by the U.S. government and the different agencies therein. And so my point is, if you are truly about following the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, if you are truly about being a Moorish American or a true Moor, or being a part of the Moorish divine and national movement, if you want to support an organization, if you want to support something, support the Moorish Science Temple of America. Join a temple, purchase different books and materials from the Moorish Science Temple of America. And I know that there's going to be some people that say, oh, but the temples are corrupt. The temples are, this is sellout. So the temples are, the temples aren't legit. There's no temple that we can trust. If that is how you feel, then I urge you to find some sort of temple and get in that temple and start cleaning up the temple. Don't instead join one of these splinter groups that have gone off and done their own thing and created their own. That's the point I wanted to get to actually. That's gone off and created their own organization, and that is simply taking this information that comes from Noble Drew Ali and using it for their own benefit in their own gain. That's not righteous. That's not the way it is supposed to be. That is not helping the Moorish Science Temple of America or the Moorish Divine and National Movement or Moorish Americans in general or Moors. That is not helping to uplift fallen humanity at all. It's only causing further division, further confusion, and stagnation of this movement, and we have to be honest about that. And on that point, that's another reason why I said, man, let me speak on this. Okay. Going back here. Let me go down here first, because this is on their website. Here we go. This is approximately somewhere in 2017. Oops. Can highlight that there. There we go. And this is on RV Bay Publications website themselves. And this is not what Rami says or what Rami feels. This is them making the statement very clearly. And it says, RV Bay Publications is not a Moorish Science Temple of America. I repeat, RV Bay Publications is not a Moorish Science Temple of America. With that being said, let me take you up to the top. They're not a Moorish Science Temple of America, and yet they have listed and promoting a Circle 7 Holy Quran class, free and open to all every first Sunday. They have a quote from Noble Drew Ali here. They have stated themselves that they are not a Moorish Science Temple of America, yet they are promoting, teaching a Moorish science, the Holy Quran class on Sundays for Sunday school. If they were truly about uplifting fallen humanity, if they were truly about following the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, then why wouldn't they use this inside of a temple? Why wouldn't they join this person, Jaib? I'm not sure, Miss Bay. Excuse me, I don't know how to pronounce your name, but why wouldn't they simply join a temple and do the work from inside a temple? Instead, they have made their own separate organization, clarified that they are not a part of the temple, but they are using the information to promote their own classes. They also are selling a bunch of different books and products of the Moorish Science Temple, information from the Moorish Science Temple of America, like this Holy Quran Circle 7. But they're not a part of the temple. They're literally taking finance away from the temple. And to my knowledge, I don't see, I've never heard of them saying that they are supporting the Moorish Science Temple of America. They are giving donations and they are directing people to join the Moorish Science Temple of America. Instead, they are creating their own entity and doing their own thing, taking people away from the temple. And that's not right. That's not what this movement is to be about. If you claim to be a part of the movement, then you have to be governed accordingly. And it's not righteous to use this information to make finance and make a business for yourself, and at the same time try to disassociate yourself with the organization that created this, with Noble Drew Ali and the information that he brought forth for true Moors and Moorish Americans. Assalamu alaikum, brother. And this is just, it's not just this, here we go. They're also selling classes. $45 for 3 classes, $20 for each class. 20 times 52. If you take the class every week, 20 times 52, that's like 1,000, I believe. It's 1,000, something like that. Let me do the math. That's terrible of me not to know that. $1,040. $1,040. This is not, and again, this is not to demean them as an organization or a business, but it is to highlight. It's to highlight the fact that they are taking the information from Noble Drew Ali to create their own business, but they are not using that to support the Moorish Science Temple of America, to help uplift and create finance for the Moorish Science Temple of America, but for themselves. And furthermore, as far as I can see, I don't even know who is actually behind this business and where this finance is truly going. And that's a whole nother issue. But my point, the central point is, if you are truly about learning about the Quran Circle 7, I humbly suggest you join a temple, a Moorish Science Temple of America, that is, a subordinate temple. And you learn the proper way through the proper channels. And if you feel that there are no temples anywhere that are legitimate, then try to join the one that you feel is closest to being legitimate and help clean that one up. Don't instead, like many other people have done, demean and diminish and talk down about the Moorish Science Temple of America and not do anything to correct it, not do anything to help clean up the temple. That's pushing people away from the organization and the temple that Noble Drew Ali created. That's not right. And we have to be honest about that. That's not to hate the people that are doing that work. I humbly suggest whoever is running the RV Bay Publications, to join the Moorish Science Temple of America and move the business within a temple and do things the proper way and help really uplift the nation, or uplift humanity, excuse me, to help support the organization. And on that note, also, just to be clear, and just to be Matt Trees, somebody gave peace, 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 quiet beast, peace and love, Don L. Matt Trees said, somebody gave me that website so I can proclaim my nationality. And me as Rami Salam Mel, I have to take accountability and say that I have pointed people in that direction, because I used to think this is a way that you can go. This is a way, oh, they're doing good work. But after reflecting and really understanding what's going on, that's incorrect. They don't have any authority to issue any sort of nationality or proclaim your nationality cards for Moorish Americans. They don't have the authority to do so. They're simply printing I don't group cards and calling it nationality cards, but there's no validity, there's no legitimacy, there's no authoritative basis for them doing that kind of work, and they're charging for that as well. And this is, again, this not to count their pockets or to try to take money from them, but it's more so to help guide the people that don't know, the people that are just coming into this information. Understand that that is not the route to go if you truly want to follow the teachings of Noble Drew Ali. If you truly want to identify yourself as a Moorish American, then I will humbly suggest you join a Moorish Science Temple of America. That is the organization that Noble Drew Ali created. He is the founder of the Moorish Science Temple of America, not RV Bay Publications or any other of the spinoff groups. And again, if you feel that the temples are not legitimate, or the temples is not doing the work, then humbly join the temple that you feel is doing as close to the as close to legitimate, or as close to doing what Noble Drew Ali said, and help clean that one and get that one back to the standard that we feel it should be at. Don't just say, oh, the temples are corrupt, the leaders aren't doing anything, and just say forget the temple. That's incorrect. You know what I mean? And the last thing, I don't have much time today, or at least right now, but I will say this while I'm live. If there is anybody that's watching this, or you can send this to the people that run RV Bay Publications, if they would like to have a conversation live with me in regards to this, if they feel that I made a mistake in something that I've said, then please send them this, have them reach out to me, drop the comment in there and say, I'm the one that's in charge of the RV Bay Publications, and I have something to say in regards to this, because this is not about trying to bash anybody, but again, trying to correct ourselves and do what's right and exact. And on that note, especially having done a lot of studying and reflecting on during Ramadan, I also want to highlight that this movement, one second, that this movement is not about trying to disassociate ourselves from religion. And anyone that tries to give you that idea that what Noble Drew Ali created is not about religion, they are misleading you. It is very much about religion. It is very much the Moorish Science Temple of America is in fact a religious organization. So don't and also that this is not about trying to worship or turn Allah into some matriarch or into some woman or to associate partners with Allah or to try to identify ourselves as Allah. The whole arm, leg, arm, head, that is incorrect. I understand the people that may have pushed that, but it's my duty to make sure that I clarify that because I was reading this and explaining it to my son. Um, man, right here. First, let me just read this real quick. Surah 4, 167. It says, those who reject faith and keep off men or women from the way of Allah have verily strayed far, far away from the path. And those who reject faith and do wrong, Allah will not forgive them nor guide them to any way except the way of hell. All right, let me read this also. And this is Surah 4, 116. And this is, I'm sorry, if you don't know, I'm reading from the Holy Quran. That was brought to us by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. In Surah 4, 116, it says, Allah forgiveth not the sin of joining other gods with him, but he forgiveth whom he pleaseth other sins than this. One who joins other gods with Allah have strayed far, far away from the right. And it says this several times. And here's another one. Again, just to emphasize the importance of this. Surah 4, 48. Allah forgiveth not the partners that should be set up with him, but he forgiveth anything else. All right, so our creator, God, Allah, will not forgive you if you try to join a partner with Allah. He'll forgive anything else to whom he pleaseth. But to set up partners with Allah is to devise a sin most heinous indeed. So if you hear people that are trying to turn Allah into arm, leg, arm, head, or to try to convince you that you as an individual are Allah, or to identify Allah as the matriarch or women as some sort of Allah as God, please understand that is incorrect. Oh man, so let me read a couple of these, and then I'm gonna get up out of here. Just leave me alone. Wasn't Jamal with the Moorish Science Temple of America? That's how I connected with him when I was back in Boston. He was even on the website. I knew something was wrong with him quickly. Just leave me alone. Jamal stated out his own mouth very clearly. I don't have the clip now, but the rise of the Moors and what he's doing is not a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. He's completely separated. He said, I'm not got nothing to do with the Moorish Science Temple of America. That's not what, I'm my own organization. I think it was wise of you though to do what you did. Hey, but it's important that you can express yourself without being disrespectful. No, 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 he made it clear that he is not a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. To my knowledge, I mean, he would know better than I. He can make a clarification, or the people that know him best can, show and prove if he was a part or joined a temple. But as far as I know, he never joined a Moorish Science Temple of America. And the people that he was working with are also not a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America. But on that note, let me close out with this last little piece, because I read from the Quran by way of Prophet Muhammad, but I also, because I hear people often talking down about religion as if we don't have a Circle 7 Quran with a chapter, holy instructions from the Prophet on religion. And I find that odd. And also, let me just say this. If there's anybody that you see that is claiming to be a part of the Moorish Divine and National Movement, or claiming to be following the teachings of Noble Drew Ali, or claiming to be a part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, and they are talking down about religion, then they are straying far away from the path. They are not doing and not following the teachings and the guidance of Noble Drew Ali or Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. But let me just share this and then get out of here. And this is coming from the Quran Circle 7 of the Moorish Science Temple of America. This is chapter 35, Holy Instructions from the Prophet, Religion. And it says very clearly, number 1, there is but one Allah, the author, the creator, the governor of the world, almighty, eternal, and incomprehensible. The sun is not Allah, though his noblest image, those who may worship the sun. Both kinds of sun. He enlightened the world with his brightness. His warmth giveth life to the products of the earth. Admire him as the creature, the instrument of Allah, but worship him not. To the one who is supreme, most wise, and beneficent, and to him alone belong worship, adoration, thanksgiving, and praise. And I want to highlight those three. This whole chapter is important, but those 3 lines are very important, because it makes it clear there's just one Allah. It's not multiple Allahs, and not every person you can claim that you are Allah. That is incorrect. There is one Allah, and we're to worship Allah alone. Not worship mother, not worship the matriarch, not worship arm, leg, arm, head, or I, self-law and master, or to worship Noble Drew Ali, or Jesus, peace be upon him, or Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. We are not to worship man. We are not to worship the messengers or the prophets. We are to worship Allah alone. And I just wanted to make sure that I made that clear. Because I've seen a lot of people that have been talking down about religion and talking down about religion as if this is not a religious organization, as if Noble Drew Ali wasn't pointing us back to making sure that we studied the Quran that came by way of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. So I hope I made myself clear in this regard. Again, support the Moorish Science Temple of America. Find your temple that you feel is doing good works. Join that temple. If you feel that there's some things that are not that they're not doing that Noble Drew Ali laid down, then join that temple and help clean that temple up. Help guide them back to the teachings and the principles and the guidance of Noble Drew Ali. Don't talk down about the Moorish Science Temple of America or try to steer people away from the Moorish Science Temple of America, because we need, that organization is here for us. It's here to help us become better citizens, and to help uplift fallen humanity, to teach us about our nationality and our birthrights, to teach us that we're not Negroes, blacks, and colors, and to teach us and so that we'll know Allah. You know what I mean? learn ourselves and know about ourselves, and more importantly, that we'll know about Allah. Um, yeah. If you have any questions, if there's something I said that was offensive in any way, I apologize. It was not my intention. Um, if there's people from the RV Bay Publications company or business or whatever that feel I said something that was in error, or they want to come and address me, we can talk about this live. Please just make a comment, send this to them, and let me know, because it's not my intention to try to demean or tear down, but it is only to help guide true Moors and Moorish Americans back on the right path, in terms of the guidance of Noble Drew Ali, in terms of the guidance of all true and divine prophets, and most importantly, man, to worship Allah. Yeah. So that's kind of all I had to say. I appreciate the commentary. Is there any other questions? I don't see any other questions. No. So I think I'm gonna get on out of here. Much love to you all. Assalamu alaikum. Islam. Peace to the Muslims and Muslims out there. Yeah. Thank you.